So help you God.
So help me God.
Thrift stores can be a place of great joy and whimsy, but they can also be places of deep sadness and grief. The nature of something being secondhand in general shows that what was once part of someone's life could at any moment become a part of someone else's, or even become trash and a part of no one's. A walk down the picture frame aisle more than any shows the melancholy of these donated goods. People toss away their picture frames without even the care to remove pictures of old family and friends. Walking down this aisle, I saw dead grandparents, divorced couples, ended friendships, pictures of people who were discarded by those closest to them. But after a proper amount of defacement, one man's dead ex-wife could be my $100. In order to find her a forever home where she can sit and watch Christmas dinners on the mantle, maybe even Hanukkah celebrations, the first thing that we're going to need to do is make a bunch of tiny creepy little eyeballs. The first step in this process is to take some white clay and make some half domes on a baking sheet. After this, I'm going to generally smooth them out with my fingers and some tools and then cook them. After cooking them, I'm going to pull them out and give them each a rough sanding just to kind of remove any real obvious glaring mistakes that were left in there. Next, I'm going to take my girlfriend's makeup sponge and I'm going to give them some little irises. I picked the color blue because obviously blue eyes are the creepiest color of eyes. I also gave them some pupils with the same sponge. So I pulled this, year and a half old epoxy out of my shed. It's turning yellow. I don't even know if it'll cure, but we're going to mix it up and I'm going to pour it over each and every eyeball. Get them nice and sticky and wet and shiny. The signs of a good eyeball. While this is setting up, I'm going to take some red yarn and I'm going to rip it into little tufts. These are for veins. So then I'm going to meticulously take this tongue depressor and use it to press on all of these little tufts of yarn onto this sticky epoxy. Now, I will tell you, this is not for the faint of heart. This process absolutely fucking sucks, and nobody should do this. So, while we wait for those to cure, we're going to want to get started on improving the picture frame. Wood doesn't stick very well to clay, so the first thing that we have to do is really scratch this up and make it nice and rough so that clay will actually fall into it. So I took some sandpaper to it. That wasn't good enough, so I took a Dremel and roughed it up even more off screen. Next, I'm going to take a few drops of this liquid Sculpting and put it in various spots so that when I pack the clay in, it'll actually stick once it cooks. As you can see here, I put way too much liquid Sculpting in a few spots and it started bursting out the sides. It was a big mess. After this, I'm going to take my hands and some ball siluses and just kind of pack this clay in and get it nice and round. Some spots I put way too much clay and it's sticking out, so I'm going to shave it off, make it smaller, get it more uniform before we start to do more. Now, the eyeballs are cured. I'm going to take a bunch of them and just haphazardly toss them all around in different spots, different sizes next to each other, make it real creepy, real weird. I'm also going to leave some blank spots for where I have some other ideas of stuff to put. So, in total, the perimeter of this frame has 26 eyeballs, and for each one of them, follow the simple process of first pull out the eyeball, put a little divot behind it, pack the eyeball back in, press it in deeply. Then I take two thin little sheets of clay, press them on, blend them into the skin. These are the kind of flat eyelids. So then I'm going to go back around a third time and build up the eyelids, make them thicker, as well as add more detail in terms of folds, wrinkles, and veins. I also thought that it'd be kind of a cool idea that there was a bunch of just little sections of skin pushed together. So I took a bunch of long worms and I packed them in, and I blended one side into one and the other side into the other, generally creating the idea that there's two pieces of skin being pressed together. I was gonna go get some staples and press them in, but I low-key forgot to do that. Eventually I decided that with some of these blank spots, I needed some mouths. For every 26 eyeballs, you need 3 mouths. I think that's a rule somewhere. So I made some lips, pressed them in. This one I made the mouth open, gave them a tongue. I also thought that it would be pretty funny to put some like little pustules on here, so I took some balls, pressed them on, and then blended them in with some ball styluses to make them nice and disgusting and wrinkly and fleshy and veiny. Then I just make my way around, just adding detail, smoothing things out. Alright, from here it's time to cook it. So I took it, put it in the oven, put the whole frame in the oven, prayed to God that it wouldn't burn down my house. Thankfully it didn't. Pulled it out and it's time to start painting it. So painting, I take a nice kind of darker brown, chocolate kind of color, go around and paint the clay. I'm going to do this with a bigger brush and then avoid the eyeballs, and then I'm going to go in with a small brush and kind of detail up the eyes to make sure that I don't get too much paint on the actual epoxy. Because I'm sure I can scrape it off, but I'm sure that that's also a terrible time, so I avoided that as much as possible. And then I come around with a lighter shade of brown and dry brush that on to all the raised surfaces. This really starts to give it some depth and really starts to make some of this stuff stand out. Then I take that same makeup sponge from earlier and I make it even lighter brown, and I go around and just kind of dab that on in random spots. I didn't make enough of it, so it's very sparse and it's very uneven, but I think that adds to this. Also, on the lips and these little seams, I'm going to put some dark red. Alright, next thing, paint the tongue, paint the pustules, add some more red, add some more detail here, add some more detail there, some warts, some divots. Now this is the part of profiteering where we hit a gray area, morally, where I have to deface this nice lady's portrait. I don't know who this lady is. She's probably about, she might be dead now. She's probably about, if she was alive, 60 years old or something. And I decided that she's not creepy enough. She's actually too normal looking. So I'm going to go around, I'm going to remove her eyeballs, and then I'm going to peel off that to give her some very nice green irises. Then I'm going to take and black out her teeth and then carve out some smaller teeth to make it even creepier. Then I'm going to take some red, very watered down, put it on her cheeks to give her some varicose veins. I don't know why I did this. I feel pretty bad about it, but, what's done is done. It's all done. It's ready for Facebook Marketplace. Enjoy this gratuitous montage of this horrifying portrait of this poor lady that I found at the thrift store for $4.